Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Raut. Stay with us for all the news you need to start your day with. We'll get you the latest on the farmer protests. Also, protests by nurses at AIIMS. We'll get you all those details. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking. The AIIMS Nurses Union has gone on an indefinite strike over their long pending demands regarding pay, even as the AIIMS director appealed to them to call off their agitation. Day 20 of the farmer protest today as they agitate at the Delhi border demanding scrapping of the farm laws. Will talks between the government and farmers resume? Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee says there's a deep lack of trust between farmers and the centre and that the government should temporarily roll back the farm laws until the economy shows signs of recovery. Tamil TV star Chitra's husband has been arrested in Chennai for alleged abetment to her suicide. The couple had been married a few months. Our top story, the AIIMS Nurses Union have gone on an indefinite strike from Monday over their long pending demands, including those with regard to the 6th Central Pay Commission and against contractual appointments, even as the AIIMS director appealed them to call off their agitation and return to work. As around 5,000 nurses went on strike from the afternoon, hampering patient care services at the Premier Hospital, AIIMS director Dr. Randeep Guleria in a video message termed the strike in the time of a pandemic as inappropriate and unfortunate. He said the nurses union had put in 23 demands and that almost all the demands have been met by the AIIMS administration and the government.
The nurses union had actually put in 23 demands. Almost all of the demands have been met by the AIIMS administration and by the government. There is one demand which they have insisted upon, and this is basically a perceived anomaly in the fixation of the initial pay as far as the 6th CPC is concerned. We are currently having the 7th CPC which is being implemented. And multiple meetings have been held with the nurses union, with the representatives, not only by the AIIMS administration, but by the economic advisor in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, by representatives of the Department of Expenditure, and also by the person who drafted the 6th CPC. He was also present in the meeting. And he explained to the nurses union that the interpretation is not correct and this is beyond the provision of the Gazette notification. I therefore appeal to all of you to come back and work and really help us get through this pandemic. Whatever issues you have, we will try and resolve amicably and try and be sympathetic to your demands. But at this time of hardship and this time of trial and tribulations, please do not go on strike.
Nurses Union of the All India Institute of Medical Science has gone on a strike, citing anomaly in the fixation of the initial pay in the 6th Pay Commission. They say that they are not asking for a pay hike, instead they are asking the administration to fix this particular anomaly in the 6th Pay Commission. While the Nurses Union of the All India Institute of Medical Science has taken this last resort of going on a strike, the director of the AIIMS, Dr. Randeep Guleria, in a video statement, he has appealed to the nurses union to call off their strike and then to return to the duty, citing it's a time of crisis. He also says that 22 out of 23 demands of the nurses union have already been met, and that's why the nurses union should call off their strike and then should return to the duty. In fact, the administration is taking every effort to make sure that the hospital runs smoothly, but because the nurses union has gone on a strike, some of the services are reportedly taken a hit. With camera person Pooja Arya, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
Well, to talk more about the situation with the nurses going on an indefinite strike in the midst of a pandemic, we're joined by MC Mishra, former director of AIIMS, and Famir CK, General Secretary, AIIMS Nurse Union. Famir, first I'd like to start with you about what, Dr. Randeep Guleria was talking about. He says that many of the 23 demands that have been made by the nurses have been met, that they've been discussed, that a series of meetings have been held, and also that it seems there's some kind of misunderstanding regarding the pay commission, and there have been meetings on that as well. So why this strike in the midst of a pandemic?
Good morning, madam. First of all, thanks for hearing the part of AIIMS nurses. We respect our director. He's such a honorable person. But unfortunately, I don't know, it may be miscommunicated for him. I'm having the paper with me which states our 23 demands. Okay. These all are the last couple of times what are the correspondence we made. Everything is included in this thing. So we are having 23 demands, madam. Okay. So from the media, we came to know that majority of our demands were accepted by AIMS administration or Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So I just want to say which all the demands they have accepted, because from our best of knowledge, out of the 23 demands, we couldn't able to we didn't able to just see which all the demands they have accepted, because directors have already accepted that the 6-pay anomaly is not rectified. And last 10th of the December, Ministry has came with a new formula that your rectification formula is not accepted by Ministry of Finance. Ironically, we can say that before 1 year, it was a state different. Honorable Health Minister has assured us in writing that this demand is accepted, or this हमारा ये rectification rectify हो गया और इसका order भी निकल चुका है बोला था. वो 1 year का पहले की बात है. I don't know after 1 year what happens, why the formula changes, because we don't have answer for that. Even the expert from the committee came to talk with us. We have very clearly stated that what the things we are demanding, why we are demanding.
हाँ ये बैग भी दे तो मैं लैपटॉप ले आऊँगा बस.
Are you also saying that when the director has said that almost all of these 23 demands have been met, you're saying that that's not true?
I feel, madam, it's not true, because we are not able to see anything materialized here. I don't know what it may be met in paper only. I don't know, but none of the demands is materials. For that, I just want to point out. Second one, reformation of our EHS facility. Okay. In that also, we are having round-the-clock EHS OPD, pharmacy services not yet happen. Round-the-clock LP medicine counter not yet happen. Cashless treatment at the EHS empaneled hospital not yet happen. Simplification of reimbursement procedures not yet happen. CGHS facilities retired for employees not yet happen. Strengthening of EHS facilities at peripheries not yet happen. Separate EHS block for EHS beneficiaries not yet happen.
All right, I understand. So you're saying that many of those demands have not been met. MC Mishra, so a tough situation here, but also made tougher by the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic right now, and already patients are suffering at AIMS.
Yeah, madam. Actually, we just want to make it very clear that we are.
I'm just asking MC Mishra now, sir, if you could come in here on this situation that we're seeing with the nurses going on this indefinite strike and claiming that these 23 demands have not been met yet.
I can't hear. What is the problem? The audio from that side.
All right, sir, we'll just try and correct it. If you can hear me now.
Now I can hear you now.
All right, so I'm saying that, while the AIMS director, Dr. Randeep Guleria, has said that many of those demands have been met, the 23 demands, the nurses union representative, however, claiming that they haven't been met, that they've had a series of meetings and it's news to them that the demands have been met, and but a difficult situation, however, for patients at AIMS currently.
Absolutely. I think I would also appeal to the nurses union representative who was speaking to you. They are very respectable people. Nursing is a very integral part of patient care in any hospital environment, and that too for AIMS. We have 6,000 plus nurses, and if the director is saying that they have met all the 23 demands, they should believe it. This is not the time to exploit the situation, and these demands are not urgent. So I would appeal to the nurses also in goodwill. They should believe the director and not go on indefinite strike, resume their work and keep talking. If something is not met, it can always be considered and it can always be implemented. So I think develop a trust between administration and nurses. That is the need of the hour, and in COVID pandemic and also the patient care suffers tremendously. We all know that without nurses, hospitals cannot function. So I think that is something which nursing union must not exploit this situation towards the detriment of their patients, because they will not generate goodwill from the patient and public at large. But On the same hand, if the director says, Dr. Randeep Guleria says that all the 23 demands have been accepted, they must believe it and sit across and talk to them. And if even still they feel that there are injustices there, some injustices can be overcome, and some demands do take some time to implement because administrative procedures take some time. But we are with the nurses; they are part of us and part of the team. So I would say that they must consider and not take patients to ransom, and speak to the director again and the institute administration. There is nothing which cannot be resolved amicably sitting across the table.
Right, Famir, your response to that and also of this, calling a strike like this in the middle of a pandemic is something, is very, very unfortunate. And as, MC Mishra is saying that there should be conversation, and if the director is saying your demands have been met, there should be conversation about that, but not this indefinite strike by nurses.
Shall I, madam?
Yes.
Madam, it's very unfortunate that the corona warriors at the stage of strike right now. We have tried our level best to avoid the strike because we have given formally the strike notice on last November. So yesterday we have came to know through the media that through a video bite, our directors has given a message that many of our demands are met. Actually, we are very shocked to know that I don't know which is the demand they have met for us. Okay, and the thing is that we tried our level best to avoid all the possible way we have utilized it, because we have given strike notice on 13th of the November. After that, there was no response from the administration. No one called for there was not even ready for the meeting. We have approached the Assistant Labour Commissioner Central for a negotiation. So after involvement of Assistant Labour Commissioner, AIIMS was came to means ready to for a talk, and we had a series of talk. That means around 3 to 5 talks we had. But in that, see, madam, the thing is that they have just given a reply to our strike.
So now, are there hopes for more talks today, if the administration reaches out?
Madam, actually, AIIMS Nurses Union is open to talk at any time. We don't have any problem because we are ready for talk, because we believe in talking, negotiation. We believe in that. But if the administration is so adamant they are not ready for that, means we don't have any option left.
All right. Well, I'm completely out of time. We'll have to leave it there. But thank you so much for joining us, and Dr. Mishra as well. And hopefully there will be some, sort of effort on both sides to reach out and hold those talks and put an end to this strike called by the nurses of AIIMS. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, it's day 20 of the farmers' protests on the borders of Delhi. Will there be any talks again between the government and farmer representatives? Protesters had decided to call off further negotiations on the 8th of December after a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah, claiming a stalemate. On Monday, farmer leaders sat on a one-day hunger strike. There were protests in different parts of the country. They want the 3 new farm laws to be repealed, saying the new rules favor big corporations to whom they will lose business and gradually end the system of state-set minimum prices. The government has so far ruled this out, but did offer guarantees to the farmer, written guarantees to the farmers, which were not accepted by them. Let's take a look at what happened on day 19 of the farmers' protest.
They have taken off the keys. They are snatching the keys from the farmer, snatching the keys of the tractor from the farmer, as you can see. They have been asking these farmers. Now you can see this man being brutally dragged like this. They had been refusing to get up from the road. And these are the violent scenes that are unfolding here at this point of time, as you can see.
Chaotic scenes on the Delhi-Jaipur highway, about 70 kilometers from the Delhi border at Bawal in Haryana. A second group of farmers from Haryana and Rajasthan tried to head towards Delhi but was stopped by the police. Around 20 farmers were detained from the spot and later released.
अन्याय हमारे साथ किसानों को पुलिस प्रशासन कर रहा है। हम आराम से दिल्ली कूच कर रहे हैं। हम आराम से दिल्ली कूच कर रहे हैं और ये प्रशासन बात जरूरी है कि ये रास्ता रोक रहा है, हम रास्ता नहीं रोक रहे।
मैम, किसानों का ये कहना है कि उनको घसीट के पुलिस लेके गई है, ये उनका एक्यूजेशन है। पुलिस की इस पे क्या प्रक्रिया है?
जी नहीं, ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है। बहुत ही पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट रहा है, क्योंकि हाईवे जाम हो गया है और 144 का डीसी सर का ऑर्डर है, इसलिए हमें अरेस्ट करना पड़ा और कोई बात नहीं है।
10 kilometers away from here, on another end of the highway, protests by another group went on, with songs about class differences and puppet shows.
वो सस्ते में खरीदेगा, उसके बाद वो उसको भंडारण कर देगा, वो जमाखोरी बढ़ जाएगी। तो किसान का जब माल गया सस्ते में, फिर वो व्यापारी कमाएगा। तो व्यापारी की कमाई और किसान की घुमाई, और उससे ये एक बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है।
Farmer leaders across protest sites also observed a hunger strike today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
सत्याग्रह के आधार पर शक्ति मिलती है, उसमें ठंड भी सहन हो जाती है, उपवास में शरीर भी उसी ढंग से ढल जाता है। तपस्या है, इस तपस्या के मार्ग पर चलकर ही हम इस लड़ाई को जीतना चाहेंगे।
The agricultural minister today claimed that several farmers groups expressed support to him about the farm bills, but on the borders of Delhi, the reality is different, with much larger number of farmers still protesting and demanding repealing of the farm laws and are refusing to leave the protest site until their demands are fulfilled. With camera person Pavan Kumar, this is Sukirti Dwivedi from the Rajasthan-Haryana border for NDTV.
Time now for a break. Coming up on the other side, have UP's new hate laws that are against conversion endangered the life of a young pregnant woman? Welcome back. In the case of a young woman being kept at a women's shelter home in Moradabad after she tried getting her marriage registered to a Muslim man and her husband was arrested under UP's new anti-conversion law, the government has denied reports that the woman had suffered a miscarriage while at the home. The 22-year-old woman, her husband and her husband's brother were accosted earlier this month by the Bajrang Dal workers at the registrar's office when they went to get their marriage registered. Despite evidence and claims that the woman had converted and married in July, that's 4 months before the new anti-conversion laws came into effect, her husband and his brother were arrested and she was sent to a shelter home. It was recently reported she had suffered a miscarriage while there. The government has, however, denied this. Mariam Alvi reports.
ये 1 महीने पहले परमिशन डीएम साहब से लेनी पड़ेगी। कानून पढ़ाना पड़ा जो बनाए हो, ये तुम जैसों के लिए बनाना पड़ा है।
First heckled by Bajrang Dal workers, then her husband arrested under UP's so-called anti-love jihad laws. And now media reports that the young woman from Moradabad in western UP had a miscarriage at a women's shelter home where she was being held. The UP government has, however, denied the claims of miscarriage.
जो कल समाचार पत्र में खबर छपी थी वो झूठी है, उसका खंडन किया जाता है और आज दोपहर के 11:05 तक जो रिपोर्ट मेरे पास आई है उसमें स्पष्ट है कि लड़की 3 माह की गर्भवती है और उसके शरीर में, उस बच्चे में धड़कन चल रही है.
What is confirmed is that the girl has been hospitalized twice since being taken to the women's shelter home with complaints of abdominal pain and bleeding. For now, her doctors say that she and her baby are okay.
3-month pregnancy with pain in abdomen और spotting bleeding के spotting करके वो यहाँ पे भर्ती हुई थी.
जब भर्ती हुई थी तो ब्लीडिंग हो रही थी.
ये कंप्लेंट करके आई थी, पर यहाँ आने के बाद उसको कोई ब्लीडिंग हुई नहीं.
The hospitalization is the latest chapter in the turmoil that has engulfed the young Hindu-Muslim couple. When she and her husband, a Muslim, tried to get their marriage registered, the police and the Bajrang Dal swooped in, claiming she had converted to Islam in violation of rules. And now, as she remains in the hospital, her family says they are not allowed to meet her. With Anwar Kamal in Moradabad, this is Mariam Alavi for NDTV.
With that, time for us to slip into a short break. More updates on the farmer protests coming up after that. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's day 20 of the farmers' protest on the borders of Delhi. Will there be talks between the government and farmer representatives soon? Protesters had decided to call off further negotiations on December 8th after a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah claiming a stalemate. On Monday, farmer leaders sat on a one-day hunger strike. They want the 3 new farm laws repealed, saying the new rules favor big corporations and that they will lose out. The government has so far ruled this out but did offer written guarantees to the farmers. So just what is the government's strategy in dealing with the farmer protest? Well, they have been holding talks with different groups of farmers, including those who support the new laws.
Day 19 of the protesting farmers, and the sea of support is visible at New Delhi's Singhu border. Farmers refusing to budge, repeal the bill, they say, or the protests will continue. Back in New Delhi, the government seems to have hammered out its strategy on the farmers. Going into overdrive, the agriculture minister meeting farmer groups who are supporting the farm laws. On Saturday, a group from Haryana, then Uttarakhand on Sunday, and today from 10 other states.
और हम लोगों ने किसान यूनियन के साथ बातचीत की है, उनको समझाने का भी प्रयास किया है और हमारी इच्छा है कि वो क्लॉज बाय क्लॉज चर्चा करें.
On Monday, Haryana Deputy Chief Minister Dushyant Chautala too was in Delhi to meet with senior ministers Rajnath Singh and Nitin Gadkari over farmers' protest. Chautala met with the Agriculture Minister too over the weekend and claimed that a solution could be in sight in the next 48 hours.
जो उनके सुझाव थे, केंद्र ने लिखित में अधिकतम मानने का काम किया है. मैं उम्मीद रखता हूं कि अगले 24 से 48 घंटे के बीच में फाइनल दौर की चर्चा कर इस पे कुछ कंक्लूसिव केंद्र सरकार और किसान संगठन रिजल्ट ला पाए.
Political opposition continues. The Delhi Chief Minister not only on a day's hunger strike but alleging that the farm laws will drive up prices.
कह रहे हैं कि ये आतंकवादी हैं, किसान आतंकवादी हैं. कह रहे हैं कि किसान देशद्रोही हैं, किसान टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग हैं. कह रहे हैं कि किसान चीन और पाकिस्तान के एजेंट हैं. ये जो किसान बैठे हैं ना, इन्हीं लोगों के भाई, इन्हीं लोगों के बेटे चीन और पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर के ऊपर देश की सुरक्षा कर रहे हैं.
Not just politicians. The BJP released a letter written by former diplomats who expressed concern over the protests, alleging that Canadian Khalistani radicals could be the reason why the protesting farmers have further hardened their positions. The government's strategy is to get more voices among the farmers to support its bills, while it also plans a nationwide outreach campaign, at the same time giving a message to the protesting farmers that it is open to dialogue. But for the moment, the impasse continues. Bureau Report, NDTV.
And NDTV spoke with Senior Minister in the government, Nitin Gadkari, to understand what the plan ahead for negotiations with the farmers is. And he believes attempts are being made to mislead the farmers, adding that it's not the government that is showing rigidity.
बहुत सी गलतफहमियां लोगों में फैलाई गई, जिसके कारण है, और हम पंजाब हरियाणा के किसानों को मैं अनुरोध करता हूं कि आपको नहीं करना है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग, जमीन नहीं देना मत दो. आपको अगर मंडी में बेचना है तो बेचो, आपको व्यापारियों को बेचना है तो बेचो. मुझे याद है ये पेप्सी ने या किसी ने एक बड़ा उद्योग डाला था, तो पोटैटो किसानों से खरीदी की है. तो जो पोटैटो का मार्केट में भाव था उससे ज्यादा भाव किसानों को दिया, तो किसानों का प्रॉफिट हुआ. तो मुझे लगता है हमारा अधिकार है, जैसा आपके पास एडवर्टाइजमेंट कोई देता है तो कौन से कितने रेट लेना ये आपका अधिकार होता है.
आपने ये बोला कि an attempt is being made to mislead the farmers, उनको गुमराह करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, उनको बहकाया जा रहा है. लेकिन किसान संगठनों का ये मानना है कि ये समझाना बुझाना अगर सरकार ही कर लेती तो ज्यादा बेहतर होता. ऐसा क्यों है कि कानून आ जाने के बाद सरकार बात कर रही है, उसके बाद सरकार के पट खुले हैं? अगर पहले ये बातचीत हो जाती तो हो सकता है किसानों का आशीर्वाद भी रहता.
मुझे बताइए, पार्लियामेंट के दोनों सदनों में इसके ऊपर चर्चा हुई, लोगों ने अपनी बातें रखी, कुछ सुझाव लिए गए, और इसके ऊपर भी आज भी हमारे कृषि मंत्री कह रहे हैं कि इसके बाद आज भी आपके कुछ सुझाव है, कोई कलम में आप बदल करना चाहते हैं तो हमें कन्विंस करो, हम तैयार है, ओपन माइंडेड है। मुझे बताइए, हमने कहाँ रिजिडिटी बताई है। और दूसरी बात, सब किसानों के लिए और किसान संगठन के लिए हम नहीं कहेंगे, पर मैं आपको एक बात पूछता हूं। हमारे गढ़चिरौली जिला नागपुर के पास है, विदर्भ में, वहां नक्सलाइट मूवमेंट को सपोर्ट करने वाले एक व्यक्ति को कार्रवाई हुई, कोर्ट ने भी उसकी जमानत नहीं की। उसका फोटो इस आंदोलन में कहां से आया? उसका क्या संबंध है खेती से और किसान से? आपने टीवी पर बताया फोटो, जिसने एंटी नेशनल भाषण दिए, जिनका किसान से कोई डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट संबंध है, उनके फोटो कहां से आए? तो मैंने ये कहा कि कुछ एलिमेंट इस किसान आंदोलन का और किसान संगठन का उपयोग करके, कुछ उनको बदनाम करके, कुछ एजेंडे को दूसरी तरफ ले जाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, जो किसानों का और किसान संगठन का एजेंडा नहीं है। उससे किसानों ने सावध रहना चाहिए, इतनी बात है उसमें।
नहीं गडकरी जी, ये क्योंकि आपने इस बात का जिक्र किया, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं, सिर्फ इसलिए कि एक पोस्टर दिख गया या वहां पर कुछ लोग इस तरीके के नारे दे रहे हैं तो ऐसा कंक्लूड कर लेना कि ये किसान आंदोलन पूरा ही बरगलाया जा रहा है या पूरा ही बहकाया जा रहा है उनको, और पूरा आंदोलन ही ऐसा है, ये आकलन कहां तक ठीक है? बिकॉज इफ यू लिसन टू सर्टेन कमेंट्स, कुछ कमेंट्स ऐसे आते हैं जिसमें टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग, खालिस्तान, ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग किसानों के लिए होता है। वहां पर इस बात को लेकर के भी रोष बहुत है। हो सकता है एक आधा हो, लेकिन सबको क्यों ऐसे बात तो लेबल दें?
हाँ, पहली बात तो ये बिल्कुल सही है कि ऐसा आकलन निकालना नहीं चाहिए। ये आप जो कह रही हो बिल्कुल सही है और सरकार इससे सहमत है। हम इतना ही कह रहे हैं, जो गलत अर्थ उसका लगाया गया, कि कुछ ऐसे तत्व है जो आंदोलन का फायदा लेकर इसमें घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और वो जो दिखा उसके ऊपर कहा है। और ये नहीं कि पूरे किसान और पूरे किसान के संगठन इस प्रकार के हैं, ऐसी बात न सरकार ने कभी कही है, न सरकार का ये मत है। पर एक बात जरूर है कि जो फोटो दिखाए गए, जिनका किसानों से, किसानों की समस्याओं से डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट कोई संबंध नहीं, तो कुछ लोग इसको गलत फायदा लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उससे किसानों ने सावध रहना चाहिए। इसके ऊपर वो टिप्पणी की गई थी, पूरे किसान आंदोलन और पूरे किसानों के बारे में नहीं थी।
Meanwhile, statements by BJP leaders against the protests continue to grow, and now Madhya Pradesh Agriculture Minister Kamal Patel has termed farmer unions' protests against the farm laws as organizations of middlemen and anti-nationalists.
और चलिए, मैं मध्य प्रदेश का कृषि मंत्री होने के नाते मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि किसानों को इस कानून के बारे में आपके माध्यम से सीधे किसानों तक पहुंचे, वो किसान गुमराह ना हो। और इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मध्य प्रदेश और केंद्र के नेतृत्व तय किया है कि पूरे देश में इस कानून के बारे में जागरूकता लाएंगे, जन जागरण अभियान चलाएंगे, किसानों को बताएंगे कि किस प्रकार विपक्ष और तथाकथित कुकुर मुद्दे की तरह हुआ है किसान संगठन। 500 किसान संगठन ये अभी बन गए। ये किसान संगठन नहीं है, दल्लों के संगठन, बिचौलियों के संगठन है, देशद्रोहियों के संगठन है, जो विदेशी शक्तियां देश को मजबूत होने नहीं देना चाहती, उनके संरक्षण में उनके पैसे से पलने वाले संगठन है। और इनको एक्सपोज करेंगे, इनका पर्दाफाश करेंगे इस जन जागरण अभियान के माध्यम से।
Now, the coronavirus pandemic is not a good time to have a conversation about farm laws. Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee told NDTV as he highlighted a deep lack of trust between farmers and the centre as one of the reasons for the breakdown in talks. Mr. Banerjee advised that the centre should temporarily roll back the farm laws until the economy showed signs of recovery.
Well, it's, I think that if you saw with, even laws are not quite good enough. If you think of the GST negotiations recently, I mean, I think the states had entitlements under the GST Act, and those were, they were treated as being flexible, let's say, by the federal government. So I do think that there is space for mistrust, and I think in the end it is somehow their sense that, this is all part of a process of taking it away from them. Whether they're right or wrong, I think it's not that. I think I and everybody else has, including the farmers, I think recognize that, the water situation in Punjab is dire, for example, and that, getting something that would work, which will make the water table not vanish in the next 20 years completely, it would be a good thing. So I don't think that there is a sense in which they're completely immune to that argument. I just think that they feel that, when you tell me this, tell me something that I really believe will come my way. And I think and the current conversation doesn't seem to have the right instruments. The government is not willing to, make a very large permanent commitment under PM Kisan, which would be the kind of thing that might actually become viable. If you really said per hectare, I'll give you X rupees, which X is a significant number, maybe that would work.
Now, Union Minister Piyush Goyal had claimed that the farmer protest had been taken over by Maoists and leftists, this after a protest demanding the release of activists from jail. Meher Pandey reports on the radical farm leader at the center of the centre's unverified accusations of radical forces behind the farm protest.
At a protest site on the Delhi-Haryana border, posters of jailed activists pushed to the margins. The fact that these posters of those including Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid have been dumped in a corner reflects the unease of the farm protesters with the attempts of the ruling establishment to tarnish their movement using these posters as proof. As this video shows, these posters featured only in a protest gathering held by one of the farm leaders, Joginder Singh Ugrahan, on World Human Rights Day at the Tikri border. But very swiftly, the images went viral as government and right-wing channels started using them to drum up a narrative that the farmers' movement had been hijacked by Maoists and Naxals. A claim so far not backed by any evidence.
मैं समझता हूं अगर ये किसान आंदोलन माओवादी और नक्सल ताकतों से मुक्त हो जाए तो हमारे किसान भाई बहन जरूर समझेंगे कि किसान के बिल उनके हित में है, देश हित में है.
The allegation is sweeping, but the fact is that the call for the release of jailed activists is largely the initiative of only one farm leader, 75-year-old Ugrahan from Punjab's Sangrur district. Those who know of him would not be surprised. Ugrahan has long been an advocate of radical agendas. Even today, he stands by his decision to call for the release of jailed activists.
हम ह्यूमन राइट्स में के दिन पर बुद्धिजीवियों का दिन मनाया, जो बुद्धिजीवियों को बेदोष के उनके ऊपर दोष लगाकर उनको जेलों में बंद किया हुआ है. इसका हमने बड़े देर से हम लोग इसका विरोध कर रहे हैं कि तोमर साहब बोलते हैं कि आप लोग बहुत पीसफुल हैं. आप लोग को मैं बधाई देता हूं कि आप पीसफुल आंदोलन लड़ रहे हैं. 6 तारीख को बयान आता है अखबार में, 5 तारीख को मीटिंग में तोमर साहब बोलता है और 10 तारीख को हम नक्सलवादी बन जाते हैं. वही लोग नक्सलवादी बन जाते हैं.
Other farm union leaders at a hunger strike at the Singhu border have chosen to distance themselves from Ugrahan, or at least this aspect of his protests.
देखो, वो हमारी तालमेल की जो जथेबंदी है, हमारे इन जथेबंदियों के बीच में एक हिस्सा नहीं है. जो काले कानूनों के खिलाफ लड़ाई लड़ी थी, जब हम सेंटर के पास मीटिंग के लिए जाते हैं तब उनको वहां से संदेश आता है. हम उसके साथ सिर्फ तालमेल करते हैं. उन्होंने आज ये अनशन पर नहीं बैठे, हमारे को इस बारे को कुछ नहीं पता, उसका अपना फैसला है.
Equally, Ugrahan has not joined the hunger strike, but he claims this is not on account of any rift.
देखिए मैम, हमारा तो भूख हड़ताल करने के लिए हमें तो कोई कंफर्म नहीं हुआ था कि हमारा ये हमारी जथेबंदी ने तो ऐसा ऐलान नहीं कोई सोचा नहीं है. अगर पहले वो सोचने के लिए बोल देते शायद हो सकता हम इसमें शामिल हो जाते, लेकिन वो कितना भी कहें हम उनसे दूर नहीं जाएंगे.
We spoke to farmers at Tikri border. They denied any talk of a rift, but were critical of the timing of Ugrahan's demands.
देखिए, अब जो आंदोलन चल रहा है, इसको अगर हमने कामयाब करना है तो इस वक्त तो हम इस मांग को उठाना जायज़ नहीं समझते, परंतु उनके लिए मांग रखना कोई गलत बात नहीं है, क्योंकि हम मानववादी लोग हैं.
यह तो बहुत सोच समझ के होगा, लेकिन इसमें ये बात जाती है भी जो बुद्धिजीवी ने उन्होंने सानू जगाया किसानों बारे, मजदूरों बारे, उन्होंने सरकार नू लग्या भी ये जगाउंदे ने, उन्होंने अंदर सट्टा, पर ये मंग सही आ पर समा नहीं सही है.
With Xavier Thomas and Rahul Chauhan, this is Meher Pandey for NDTV.
News now from Maharashtra, where the Home Minister Anil Deshmukh tabled the Maharashtra Shakti Criminal Law Act 2020 and the special courts and machinery for the implementation of the Shakti Bill on the first day of the winter session of the State Assembly on Monday. The new law is likely to be passed today. The Shakti Bill has been formulated along the lines of the Disha Act passed by Andhra Pradesh in February, which also carried stricter punishments, including a death penalty for heinous crimes of violence against women and children. However, over 90 women's groups, activists and others have written to the Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray expressing concern over a section of the Shakti Bill that seeks to add an explanation to Section 375, where it says where parties are adults and the conduct of such parties from all circumstances surrounding the same appears there was consent or implied consent, a presumption of consent will be made, which legal experts say negates the clarity offered by the current laws. Tamil TV star Chitra's husband has been arrested in Chennai days after the actor's mother accused him of beating her daughter. Police sources, however, have said that based on the post-mortem report, the actor had died by suicide and financial issues have emerged as a possible reason. Well, let's go across to Sam Daniel for more on this. Sam, so why has the husband now been held, been arrested by the police for this on these charges?
Gargi, investigators say the husband Hemnath was quite angry with his wife Chitra after she enacted an intimate role on the television serial. She was very popular. After it went on air, that had led to arguments with her. Although both had compromised, patched up on that issue, investigators say he kept on harping on that. And even the day she was found dead in a hotel room, police say the husband had pushed her, after which she locked herself in the room and later she was found dead, which after post-mortem police have confirmed it's a case of suicide. And it's exactly for this role police have slapped a case of abetment to suicide on her husband. And earlier her mother had accused him of beating her to death, but police have ruled out now. And she also, police say, had some financial pressures, and all these could have triggered her to take this extreme step. She began as a video jockey and later rose to become a very popular star, and one of her serials on Tamil television is still very popular, ongoing one. And at the moment he has been put behind bars and a case of abetment to suicide has been registered. Gargi.
All right, Sam, thanks so much for joining us. A very, very tragic story there.